Good morning, students. Standard 11, BA, Chapter number 1, Video number 3. In the last video lecture, we have completed the types of economic activities. We have completed about business, profession, and employment. In today's video lecture, we have to discuss about the classification of business activities. Business activities are classified into three categories: 1. Trade, 2nd. Commerce, and 3rd. Industry. So let's start with trade. Question is there: what is meant by trade? Explain the characteristics of trade. First of all, meaning: exchange of commodity or services in return of commodity or service, or exchange of commodity or service in return of money with the motive of profit between two persons is called trade. Here, very important word is motive is profit, and this activity is done between two persons. For motive of profit, here activity is done of exchange of commodity or service in return of commodity or service, or exchange of commodity or service in return of money. To understand better, here example is there. When you purchase a book from a shopkeeper, you pay money against the purchase of the book. Here exchange of commodity is done in return of money. Here commodity is book and you pay money for that book. The shopkeeper gives you book and you have to pay money for that. So here exchange of commodity is done in return of money. When you purchase bus ticket and travel by bus, you get exchange of service in return of money paid. Very simple. If you want to go to Surat, and for that you purchase bus ticket, for that you have to pay money, and the traveling service you receives. So very simple meaning is there. Now characteristics of trade. First, trade is an economic activity. Yes, if business is an economic activity, then obviously trade is also an economic activity, because a person who doing trade, he gains economic gain. That's why trade is an economic activity. Second, there are two parties in trade: purchase and seller. Two parties, one is purchaser, second is seller. Third, exchange is essential in trade. Yes, 100%. If exchange is there, then it will be trade. No exchange, there will be no trade. Fourth, in trade, transfer of ownership of goods and services are done. In meaning, we have cleared that in trade, transfer of ownership of goods and services are done. If you purchase book from shopkeeper and you pay money for that, then the ownership of that book is transferred to you. Means here consumer gets the ownership of that book. Fifth, in exchange of goods, either an amount is paid or goods are exchanged. In exchange of goods, either an amount is paid or goods are exchanged. Very simple. You have to pay either money or goods in place of goods, or service in place of goods, whatever is there. Next, trade is a continuous activity. In trade, the activity of purchase and sell is done continuously. So you can say trade is an continuous activity. And if business is an continuous activity, then also trade is a continuous activity. Next, the value of goods or service is determined in the terms of money. Very simple. Here, value is determined in the terms of money. You cannot say that 10 kg wheat is equal to 10 kg rice. If this transaction is done, then you cannot say that as a trade, because the value of 10 kg wheat and the value of 10 kg rice both are different. You can say 100 rupees wheat and 100 rupees rice, then it is okay. Here exchange is there. And last, trade is a legal activity. Very simple. If business is an legal activity, then trade is also legal activity. So these are total 8 characteristics. Question: types of trade. There are mainly two types of trade. One is international trade, second is internal trade. Now, first of all, internal trade. Very simple. Trade among different regions within the boundaries of a country is called internal trade. A trader of Ahmedabad purchases boxes of apple from Kashmir, or a trader of Nagpur sends oranges to Rajkot. These are examples of internal trade. We can say any trade done within the geographical boundary of a country is called internal trade. In internal trade, it may be happen between two villages, between two towns, or between two states. The main thing is within the geographical boundary of a country, the trade is done. From the viewpoint of distribution, internal trade is divided into two parts. One is wholesale trade and second is retail trade. A wholesaler purchases goods in bulk from the producer and distributes them to a retailer as per his requirement. The wholesaler is a connecting link between a producer and a retailer. Very simple. Wholesaler is a connecting link between producer and a retailer. This can be asked in exam. In retail trade, a retailer purchases goods from wholesaler and supplies them to the consumer as per their requirement. Yes, very simple. In retail trade, what happen? Retailer purchase from wholesaler and supply them to consumer. Means when we go to retailer, as per our requirement, retailer gives the goods. So this is internal trade. In internal trade, from the viewpoint of distribution, there are two parts, wholesaler and retailer. Now, second type in trade is international trade. Trade between two countries is called international trade. International trade crosses the boundaries of a country. A Japanese company selling television to Indian trader, or Kesar mango being signed from India to USA are example of international trade. Here you have to remember that outside the geographical boundary of a country means between two country, when there is a trade, it is known as international trade. In international trade, three things are included. One is import, second is export, and third is re-export. You know very well what is import. When we purchase goods from other country, then that is import for us. When we sell goods to other country, then that is export for us. Now what is re-export? That you have to remember. Re-export means again export. means there is a two time of export of goods. For example, if you have purchased machine from Japan, means Indian trader purchase machine from Japan, and after that trader Indian trader sells it to America, then it is known as re-export of goods, simply from Japan to India and from India to America or other country. Means here two time there is export, so we can say re-export of trade. So very simple. There are mainly two types of trade. One is internal trade and second is international trade. Now, second classification of business activity, that is commerce. Question is there, what is mean by commerce? Explain the characteristics of commerce. In business activities, you can classify in a three way. One is trade, second is commerce, and third is industry. We have cleared the concept of trade. Now, commerce. In commerce means trade and auxiliary services to trade. Here you have to remember that auxiliary services means all the services which help for easily doing trade. These services include the service of banking, insurance, transportation, communication, warehousing, and agents. Regarding all these services, we have to learn in next chapter number 2 and chapter number 3. Auxiliary services means you can say the services which makes better the trade. Every trader require these all services. For example, banking, insurance. For economic transaction you require banking. For safety of your goods you require insurance. Then to move goods from one place to another place you require transportation. To talk with customer you require communication. So these all services are very necessary for easily doing the trade. So commerce means trade and auxiliary services to trade. The world has become a global village from point of view of trade and its auxiliary services. Yes, now world has become a global village from the point of view of trade and its auxiliary services. Now characteristics. First, trade is a part of commerce. Yes, in definition we have cleared that trade is a part of commerce. In commerce, trade is already included. Second, commerce is an economic activity. Yes, 100% right. Because in commerce, you get monetary return. That's why commerce is an economic activity. Third, auxiliary services helpful to trade are included in commerce. Example, banking, insurance, transportation, etc. We have cleared in definition, these all are auxiliary services and they are helpful to trade. Fourth, it increases time and place utility of goods. Time and place utility. By the service of warehousing, here time utility is created, and by service of transportation, place utility is created. So remember this thing. It increases time and place utility of goods. Then auxiliary services are demand oriented yet continuous. These all are demand oriented yet continuous. And last, if auxiliary services are available at reasonable price, goods can be supplied to consumer at fair price. Yes, if these all services are available at reasonable price, means banking service or transportation or insurance, then obviously customer can get product at very fair price or a low price. So these are the characteristics of commerce. This question can be asked in a 2 or 3 marks. What is meant by commerce? Explain the characteristics of commerce. Small question. Difference between trade and commerce. There are total 3 points you have to remember. First is meaning, second is scope, and third is parties. So let's start. First meaning, exchange of goods or service in return of money. You can write the meaning other means long meaning. Exchange of goods or service in return of money, or exchange of goods or service in return of goods or service between two parties with a motive of profit is known as trade. Now in commerce, commerce includes trade and auxiliary services to trade. Second is scope. Scope of trade is limited. In commerce, scope of commerce is wider. Trade is included in commerce. You know very well. In definition we have cleared, and also in concept we have cleared that the scope of trade is limited. Why limited? Because in trade, commerce is not included, while in commerce, trade is included. That's why the scope of commerce is wider. Last, parties. Both the parties of trade are mostly known to each other and are in proximity. In commerce, both the parties may be at distance place and unknown, even though they can obtain auxiliary services. Now, what happen in trade? Simple. Regular, when you purchase product from shopkeeper, then your shopkeeper and you both know each other and are in proximity. So in trade, both the party know each other. But in commerce, it is not necessary that both parties know each other. For example, you if you have opened bank account, okay, so it is not necessary each and every employee of bank know to you. The same thing, if you want to take insurance, then it is not necessary every employee of insurance company knows to you. So though they gives you service. So very simple here difference. This different can be asked in 2 or 3 marks. So learn properly. Question: what is industry? Explain the characteristics of industry. First of all, meaning a process of converting raw material into finished goods by adding utility to satisfy human needs is called an industry. First of all, clear the meaning. A process of converting raw material into finished goods. When there is a raw material, and why to convert in finished goods? Obviously to satisfy human needs. And when you convert into finished goods, utility will be added. So for example, manufacturing of furniture from wood. Wood is a natural product, or you can say raw material. From that wood, furniture will be made. And when furniture will be made, obviously there is a adding of utility. And you can satisfy human needs. Second example, manufacturing of cloth from raw cotton. Raw cotton is also raw material, and from that raw cotton, here clothes will be manufactured by industry. So again, clear meaning, a process of converting raw material into finished goods by adding utility to satisfy human needs is called an industry. Now, the characteristics of industry. First is production. Yes, in industry, production work is regularly done. Second, economic activity. Very, very important. You know very well. By doing means any industrial or a person who work in industry, he gets economic return or monetary return. That's why you can say economic activity. And industry is a part of business, and business is also economic activity, so you can easily say industry is also economic activity. Change in the form of raw materials. Yes, we have cleared in a example. From wood, you convert wood and make furniture. So here, change in the form of raw material. Then production of different articles. Yes, from wood you can made table, chair, sofa set, dining table. These all things you can made from wood. So different articles you can made. Then utility, and in addition to them, means yes, here utility will be added. Then human labor also used at a time of production. Natural resources and machineries, yes, you have to use machinery. These all are the characteristics of industry. Sometimes characteristics of industry ask in a 1 or 2 marks, so you have to remember this thing. Classification of industry, or simple you can say types of industry. There are three types. One is primary industry, second secondary industry, and third is tertiary industry. So let's start. First, primary industry. These industries are fundamental industries that are connected with the sea, land, and air. Production activities relied on nature. Agriculture, animal husbandry, and poultry farming are connected with land. Fisheries is connected with sea. So, very basic, or you can say fundamental industry, because here natural, this whatever you gets from nature, or you can say natural elements, here land, air, and sea, these all are connected with nature, and all the activities is relied on nature. Agriculture, you know very well, whatever we get from agriculture, that is from land. Then animal husbandry, then poultry farming, these all are connected with land. Fisheries is connected with sea. So very simple concept. Primary industry, or a basic industry you can say, or a fundamental industry, whatever we get, that is from this industry. Now second is secondary industry. Various types of machineries and technologies are used. Here the natural wealth is proceed to make it consumable and is supplied to the consumers. Example, fertilizer industry, color and chemical industry, steel industry, etc. Students, please consider that in secondary industry some processes are there. Various types of machines and technology are used, because whatever we get from nature, or we can say from land or water, that cannot be directly used by the consumer. So here you have to do some machinery work, and for that you have to use technology. Examples are there: fertilizer industry, color and chemical industry, steel industry, etc. So in secondary industry you can easily say some machinery work will be done on natural wealth. And last is tertiary industry. It has a wide scope. Very important word. It has a wide scope. This can be asked in MCQ. It provides help and service to primary and secondary industries, and besides this, it is a very near to consumer. Yes, very near to consumer, because whatever we get from tertiary industry, that can be directly used by customer. Nothing customer has to do, because whatever process or whatever procedure done, that will be finished by the industry. You have to use that product directly. The products obtained from primary industry and secondary industry are made more consumable for customers with different processes. Yes, here the products which we get from tertiary industry are more consumable for customers. Example, dairy industry, cold drinks industry, bakery industry, and so on. You know very well from dairy industry whatever we get that can be directly used. From bakery whatever we get bread or biscuits you can directly use. Tertiary industry also include the service of banking, insurance, transportation, warehousing, agents, communication, etc. Students, these all services are also included in tertiary industry. So basically, tertiary industry, you can say final industry, because whatever we get from tertiary industry is ready to use for consumer. Consumer has nothing to do, because whatever done, whatever process required, that can be finished by either secondary and or last in tertiary. For that, last example is there. Production of wheat is a primary industry. You know very well. Wheat we get from agriculture, and agriculture related with primary industry. Then from wheat, production of flour is secondary industry. Yes, wheat you cannot directly use. So here there is a process. From that wheat, flour is made. So for that you require machinery. So this is secondary industry. And from production of means from wheat or sorry from flour, bread, biscuit, all things are made, and that is known as tertiary industry. You can buy bread or biscuit from bakery, and that is ready to use. Okay, so this is the example. Then first of all wheat that is primary, wheat to flour that is secondary, and from flour to bakery whatever the bakery product is made is tertiary industry. So these are the classification of industry. Total three classification are there: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Students, in this video lecture I have completed chapter number 1. In earlier video lecture, we have completed business, profession, and employment. In today's video lecture, we have cleared the classification of business activities, that is about trade, commerce, and industry. Now, our second chapter we will discuss in our next video lecture. Second chapter, that is business services part 1. In that chapter, we have to study about the insurance, then postal services, warehousing, transportation. These all services we will learn in second means next video lecture. So students, goodbye, take care, Jai Shri Krishna.